All right, everybody, circle up.
From Wish TV.
Here we go.
Indy Style is Indy's only live local lifestyle program.
Everything they do is great.
You're part of it.
Talk about things that I want to know about.
Where life and style meet.
Oh, this is great.
Really great energy.
Really having a wonderful time.
The best. I love it.
Everything about him is great.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big announcement you've all been waiting for.
This is the Indy Style Podcast.
All right, let's get right to it.
On the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From Wish TV's Indy Style, I'm Amber Hankins, and on this episode, we pull back the curtain on Indy Style and learn about the show within the show. Join me as I chat with Indy Style executive producer Peggy McClelland about what it takes to be an Indy Style guest and how to make the most of your segments. Hear what she says is a must for future guests to put at the top of an email.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Well, she is the lady you don't see on Indy Style, but is behind the scenes making the magic happen and calling the shots. Joining us this morning is executive producer of Indy Style, Peggy McClelland, a.k.a. Producer Peggy. I'm so excited to have you in today.
Oh, Amber, I am so excited. How great is this to have the All Indiana Podcast Network?
Yes.
And Indy Style gets its own podcast? How wonderful is this?
I love it. I am so excited. Obviously, we talked to Randy last week, continuing everything this week. And I want to dive in to all things Indy Style because, as you know, we get questions, right, all the time about what it takes to be a guest, what we're looking for. So I want to dive right into it. What, Peggy, is the number one question you get about Indy Style?
Is it live? Seriously.
Wait, what?
We have been on the air now. We're about to on March 15th.
Yeah,
it'll be 11 years. We are the only live lifestyle program in Indianapolis, 5 days a week. And yeah, sometimes it's a little more alive than we'd like it to be, but we are live. There's maybe one or two. We do like to take Christmas off, where we'll pre-tape.
Yes.
But for the most part, we are live every single day. So if you come on and be in our studio, yeah, it's live.
I will have to say, I have been in an interview to where a guest has turned to me and they're like, okay, when is this air? And I'm like, in 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Exactly.
And they do so great. I know a lot of people think that there are more nerves with that, but I have found that guests do better live. Let's just do it and not worry about, rehearsing or anything like that. Just talk to me. We're just having a conversation. Which leads me, Peggy, to the next question about being a guest on the show. I know a lot of people ask, how do I be a guest? How does that process work? What are you guys looking for?
Right. And there are several ways. I mean, we are a for-profit entity, so there are many of our guests are clients of the station.
Right.
So that's an important entity. But a lot of our guests are by invitation, or they will send me something and I'll review the guest list and see what we can do to accommodate them. We love local. We love helping local businesses, small businesses, organizations forward their initiatives and what's going on. And we love giving our audience that aha moment that we like to call it, something that they may not have realized is going on, something they can participate in, something that will help them in their lifestyle, make their lives a little bit better.
Right.
We're kind of that warm hug at 10 o'clock in the morning,
Warm and fuzzy hug.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of stuff going on, and we don't downplay that. But then there's
Yeah.
the news, and they do an amazing job. But we like to give people a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And we try to cover everyone's lifestyle. So when I'm stacking a show, booking the week, booking the month, I mean, I have a calendar that I use, and I've got stuff all the way to the end of the year booked. But we try to keep a balance based on who our audience is, and we have a very broad audience across the
We
state.
really do. And the most interesting part of this, you told me before we started this podcast, you could tell people what you look for in the first paragraph
Right.
of their pitch, because a lot of
Right.
people send pitches. So I want to know, what is it that you do look for?
I look for the word local, Indiana. We're a Hoosier company.
Yeah.
You know, we're based in Indianapolis. We're based in Indiana, or something that's going to let me know that it's something that's going to relate to our audience. Lots of times, I mean, I get literally thousands of emails a week.
Yeah.
Come in, and I try to at least review a little bit of each one, but it's impossible to read every request. But if something leaps out at me that I know this is a local company, new company, been in business a while, tell me your story, tell me who you are, what you do, but hit on that local and what your product is, or
Right.
what you, because some people will give me this big long story, and I get to the bottom of it, and I find that they're in California,
Yeah.
or that I don't even know whether there's a product, what it is. Now you can expand on that in the following paragraphs, but that who, what, when, where, and
Yeah,
how,
right at the top. Get right to it.
right to it, get right to it. Yeah.
And I think that's what I love to see in emails too. I think a lot of people ask, well, what makes one pitch better than another? And it's like, if you can simply say, this is who I am, this is what I can do for you, lay it out easily. Here's my product, here's what it does, here's what I could bring, here's how the segment will look. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that helps us visualize it, right? And paints us a picture?
Absolutely. And even for the smallest product or idea, if they've got some pictures to attach,
Yes,
if I
visuals.
think that they can send me some video and visuals, we do not have the ability to go out and shoot things and get a lot of that material ourselves. But if you hand me something, like we had an organization that we kind of called it a Fuzzy Wuzzy that was doing something around Valentine's Day, you know, and they sent us this amazing picture of these dogs, that it was a dog and a cutout of a dog that you could get, well, of your own dog to send out.
Right.
Well, it had a great visual. It was not a long get, and we put that in the show. We did a reader on it, and we don't do a lot of readers, but that was one that was compelling. It had heart, and heart is the other thing that I personally look for. Because if it touches my heart, if I find it interesting to me, now, you know, I can't just go by what I like. I'm very in tune with who our audience is.
Yeah.
So that's why I talk about the balance, you know. But if I think it's something that's going to tug at heartstrings or make sense to people, I'm
Right.
going to call them. And we have had some of our first guests back in the beginning was a company that did balloon animals, and they told me that we were one of the first things they'd ever sent out. And so I brought them in, and they were going, I mean, they had just started. They didn't really have a company yet. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, we'll be there, you know. And sure enough, they came, and it helped launch their company. And I love those kind of stories,
That's
too.
amazing. And I know it's all about connection, but also, Peggy, we want them to serve themselves, right? We want to set them up for success and let them have a good segment that's going to showcase them in the best way possible after they leave, because they can share it all over social media and send that out.
Right, and that's important, because I like to ask people, do you have a website? Do you have a way? You have to have a call to action. When you come on, not only are we getting a great segment, but we want you to have that call to action. Get in touch with us. We always say, for more information, go to our website.
Right.
Well, we put a lot of stuff on that. But if you don't have your website ready to get the calls, because we have people that before the kitchen segment's done, they got people ordering their food, you know. You have to have the ability for people to contact you if you're going to come on. If you don't, you're wasting it, because once people, if they go to your website and it's not ready to take an order, they won't go back.
Right.
But if it's ready, then you're going to get some business from it.
Absolutely.
So you want to be able to promote, and you also want to be able to go, you know, with the social media, which you can speak better than I can, to be ready to handle, let people know you're going to be on,
Right.
and let people know you were on, and share that link on your Facebook or whatever to promote it.
Where they can find you. I think that's especially important in the kitchen, because the kitchen is typically the main segment that is on Indy Style and in the most visual, right? People are making things, doing things, demonstrating things. So I think if you have a pitch for a segment, it's really good to have that visual element, because, this is television after all. So that's a really great thing. So absolutely keep that in mind if you're looking to be a guest on Indy Style. And speaking of guests, Peggy, a permanent guest coming to us, Mr. Randy Ollis, which we are all so excited about.
Randy and I sat down just last week and kind of brainstormed a little bit. Well, he's always been a close personal family friend for Indy Style with the weather and everything he's done. And he's just such a warm, engaging human being. So we're so excited to have him be a regular every day on Indy Style. He's going to join us for our chat. And I can't wait to see where chat's going to go, because
it might go off the walls, Peggy.
Yeah, and I think it's important people know we're not a scripted show. We have what we put in the so-called prompter is more like bullet points for people, but you guys are making this up as you go along for the most part. It's just really people who like each other having those conversations. So we're so excited about Randy helping us learn about him and about things that he's interested in, and teaching him a thing or two as well. I think the kitchen segments are going to be great for him. He's got some science ideas that he wants to bring to it. I know that he's very much into his community and the idea of acts of kindness and goodness. I think we're going to explore more of those. We want to be able to do a shout out to people that are doing good things in their community, and so we're going to ask the folks at home to help us by cluing us in to some. Maybe it's you got a neighbor who's plowing your other neighbor's driveway out of the goodness of their heart. We'd like to see some of that goodness.
We do, and I think that's what's so exciting about it, is bringing in viewers, not perhaps just as guests, but as a part of the show, right? Making them feel like they're in our living room. You and I have talked about the We Try It segments, which we're hopefully maybe get started up here soon, to where people can do things at their homes and then send us their own videos of them trying things out.
Exactly. We always like to think of the studio, and true, when we first built the studio, it was like the kitchen, which is the heart of the home, and then we've got our little interview set, and we've got places where things happen. It's like our great room out of a house. But I always like to think that our hosts should be the kind of people that if they came to your door and knocked, you'd say, hey, come on in and have a cup of coffee. Have a little sit down. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
That's what we hope that people get across.
I hope so too. And I think with the addition of Randy, that's just going to make that warm, welcoming vibe, at least I hope so, even more apparent. But yeah, Indy Style is well on its way. Some changes for sure this year, but a lot to look forward to. Anything that you want to mention that you're specifically excited about down the road?
I want to put music back on the show.
Performers.
Music. COVID has been a very big hit, and we have taken amazing precautions to keep our people safe. When people see us, you don't see us with masks, but everybody has those masks on right up until the time that they go live, and we are very conscious about our distancing. And it's hard to tell distancing on TV, but believe me, we're 6-10 feet away from each other. Distance always looks, a little closer on some of the shots, but we try to be very careful with that. People leave, we distance them in our green room. I mean, we're trying to be really careful. So we have brought people back in the studio, and they love it, but we can't have as many as we'd like.
Right.
But we're finding ways to get some live musicians. We want to promote the arts. We want to promote the artists and the visual artists and the restaurants and the performing arts that are out there. So I want music back on, and
it's such a good feel, isn't it?
It is. It just makes the whole building rock and feel good. Yeah, But that's the thing about Indy Style. When we're cooking, the whole building smells. Smells that fill, and when we have music, the music fills the building, and because we like to keep that door open now and then so people can kind of share, right?
And Peggy, I like to say too, for guests who come on, this really is like a family almost within a family, because pre-COVID and hopefully post-COVID here soon, people are in the green room, Peggy, exchanging numbers and business cards, and people meet other people to help with their own businesses, I feel like, through this show.
I feel I'm one of the most blessed people on the face of the earth with my job, because I meet new people every day, and they're such good people. You know, you never know when you start a day who you're going to meet or what you're going to learn. But as we're trying to teach the folks at home, hey, we're absorbing all this. You know, I become a better cook because I get to talk to some of the top chefs in the state, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a really nice camaraderie that we have built with the people that come on the show, and they become our friends.
Yeah,
going
they
forward,
do.
they're family.
Oh, they do. It just warms my heart. It's all about people helping people. We help in the community and hopefully getting them to that place in their business that they want to be. So, Peggy, I appreciate your time so much. This has been so much fun, and we look forward to so many good things coming up. I feel like the best is yet to come.
You got it. Me too.
Thanks, Peggy. From Wish TV's Indy Style, I'm Amber Hankins. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Indy Style podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Watch Indy Style weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Wish TV. Follow Indy Style on Facebook and connect for even more at wishtv.com.
This concludes our broadcast day.
For even more great podcasts, go to allindianapodcastnetwork.com.